4th week of our quarter. We hope that you're doing well. Excited to see you. Let's jump right in. So you have writing journals. This week, the first one, you have a little cheetah here. He looks like he's laughing. Write a story about what he's laughing at. In the Red Fern Grows, I hope you're reading that, by the way. Billy works hard to earn money to purchase his dog. So write about a time that you have worked hard for something. Were you able to stick with it and meet your goal? Free write on Wednesday. I always enjoy reading what you guys come up with. If you were given one wish that could only be used to help someone else, who would you choose? What will you wish for them? And why would you choose this? That's a kind of a neat one. And then Fiction Friday. Write a fiction story where the main character has an exotic pet as an exotic animal as a pet.
Like that.
All right.
And so our agenda and our objectives for this week, we have our agenda that we've always had. Be sure that you're looking at this every day and that you can check off each of these things, because that's letting you know what you're going through. And it's also making sure that you're getting all the things that need to be graded done. That's a big deal. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, keep those check marks, okay? Our weekly objectives, these are the same things we've done since the same format since the beginning of the year. You should be able to look through these, and by Friday, you should be able to check off each one of those boxes for things that you've learned this week.
Okay, so our vocabulary, we are going to go back and have vocabulary this week. So our vocabulary this week: exotic, dictate, exempt, regulate, respond. So think about how many of those words you know. So respond is a verb. It means to make a reply or answer. And you can see in the picture that the lady and the man are talking to each other, and she's saying something and then he's going to answer her or reply, or she's answering him. So your synonyms are answer and reply. Your antonyms are ask or ignore. Exotic is an adjective. It means from another part of the world, and you can see there's a picture of a tiger. And a tiger is an exotic animal to us because it's from another part of the world. I like to try exotic foods from other countries. Synonyms are foreign or tropical, and antonyms are native or familiar. Dictate is a verb. It means to require something to be done and decided. And so you see in the picture, it looks like the puppet master is kind of controlling this guy. He's dictating what that guy will do. He's making him do something. He's deciding for the man what he's going to do. Synonyms are control and require. Antonyms are follow and obey. Exempt is an adjective. It means being freed or excused from following a law or duty that others must obey. So you see the sign there that says exempt. If you're exempt, then you don't have to do it, or you don't have to obey that law. Synonyms are spared or excused, and antonyms are obligated or required. Regulate is a verb. It means to control or direct something according to a rule, principle, or law. Like the sentence says, the thermostat regulates the temperature in the classroom, so it controls it. This is a no smoking sign, and it's saying no smoking allowed, so it's controlling what you can do in that environment. You're not allowed to smoke there. Synonyms are control and manage. Antonyms are neglect and displace.
All right, so
I love this part.
Let's make some inferences.
Oh.
On the first picture, I noticed that there are 4 little puppies, and they appear to be red in color. So I infer that these are baby hounds because they look like hound puppies.
They're precious.
This picture cracks me
I
up.
like this
So
one.
I see that there is a peacock and there's a little girl with a very terrified look on her face. So I infer that the peacock is chasing the little girl because she looks scared and the peacock looks like he is in action.
That's great.
This one.
Oh,
So
this
I
is
noticed
cute.
there is a kangaroo and a puppy, and the puppy's eyes are pretty wide. So I infer that the kangaroo is hugging the puppy and the puppy is scared because the kangaroo has his arms around the puppy and the puppy's eyes are wide. So in this picture, I see a Dairy Queen sign. The sign says scream until daddy stops the car. So I infer that Dairy Queen needs some more customers because they put this sign out there asking kids to ask their daddy to stop at Dairy Queen. Here I see a family sitting at a table. There's a turkey, there are vegetables. So I infer that this family is having a Thanksgiving dinner because I see the turkey and the family at the table.
That looks good. Our story of the week this week, we are going to look at an informational text that asks you to take a stance, take a position one way or the other. And so argumentative texts, these are texts that make or that tell you that an argument is a claim made by an author that is supported by reasons and evidence. Editorials and commentary are two examples of this kind of writing. In the lesson, you're going to learn to track and evaluate claims based on evidence, analyze persuasive or logical or emotional language, understand counter-arguments, and compare two arguments on the same topic. That sounds like a whole lot, but I promise you it's not nearly as complicated as it sounds.
And
okay?
in my mind, I was thinking, so if we're argumentative about the same topic, maybe the topic is, what is the best crayon color in the world? And so I'm writing a paper saying red is the best, and here's all my reasons why.
Mhm.
You're writing a paper saying that purple's the best, and here's all the reasons why. It's about the same topic, but we're both giving our reasons as to why ours is the best, and we're
Yes.
supporting that evidence.
And so, our texts, they make a claim and they take a position on an issue. Yes, red is the best crayon because, and then it's going to have evidence as to why. And then, yes, purple is the best color, and here's the evidence why. You're going to support the claim with reasons and evidence is very important. It's facts, statistics, quotations, examples. Facts are not my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can say that purple is the best crayon in the world, but that's kind of my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have facts that really back that up, okay? So you need to make sure that you understand that facts are solid evidence.
And if you don't have solid evidence, then it's probably not something that you can write an argumentative paper about. So we might find that, yes, we can argue about it,
Mm-hmm.
but when we go to write an argumentative paper, that might not be the best topic if we can't find facts to back it up.
Yes. And so we're going to present counter arguments to address any objections that we have with the other argument. And we're going to use logic or emotion to persuade our readers. The background for our first story is wild animals are animals that live in nature. And they can be as rare as a snow leopard or as common as a tree squirrel. Although many states have laws that prohibit owning a wild animal, thousands of people in the United States keep animals such as wolves, pythons, crocodiles, and bears as pets. Some people want to make it illegal to have these kinds of pets. They argue that these animals pose a safety and health risk to people and the environment. So we are going to look at, is owning an exotic pet a good choice? Should it be illegal or should it still be legal this week? So wild animals aren't pets. Just by looking at this title, I can kind of guess what side of the argument that the author falls on.
I can too.
Yeah, because it says wild animals aren't pets. I bet that they don't think that you should be able to keep exotic animals as pets.
Right.
So they're probably going to follow through in our story with factual information telling us why they feel that
Mhm.
way.
And so, some background. Some people claim that private citizens have no business keeping wild or exotic animals as pets, and others disagree with that. That with proper care, captivity is a safe place for these animals. In 2012, in Zanesville, Ohio, a man named Terry Thompson set free his collection of exotic animals. Most of them had to be killed on site to protect nearby residents. In the aftermath of this tragedy, Susanna Kokol wrote this commentary maintaining that private owners, through captive breeding, so breeding within captivity, provide one of the most effective ways to save threatened species. Tigers, Kokol wrote, are better than dogs. They don't bark. So she's got a little bit of humor there. And so we have this article that is let people own exotic animals.
Ah, that sounds like the opposite of the other article.
Yes.
So this is taking the other stance.
So we have wild animals aren't pets and let people own exotic animals. And we are going to be looking at both of these arguments over which, and then we'll probably talk about which side you fall on.
Mhm.
And you do have a couple videos to watch with those as well, so make sure you do that.
Okay, our reading lesson is identifying claims and analyzing evidence. So since we're using our stories, we're going to be looking at the evidence that we're given to try to identify what they're saying. So it says the selections wild animals aren't pets and let people own exotic animals present opposing arguments. A written argument expresses a position or makes a claim about an issue or problem and supports that position with reasons and evidence. The claim, or the writer's position, is often stated early in the argument, such as in an introductory paragraph or even in the title, which we just saw. Both of those are in the title. A claim may be stated more than one time and in more than one way. Often, a claim will be restated in the conclusion. So after you get to the end, usually you want to remind them of, this is how I feel. And you're going to watch a brain pop. Remember, the link is at the bottom, Rust EL, and then your password. And we are going to work with this. We're going to work at filling those in.
Yep.
Okay?
So grammar this week is a little bit different. We're going to be looking at commonly confused words, or homophones. So words that sound the same but are different. They have
We need
very
to work
different
on that.
meanings. And if you don't use the correct word, your reader isn't going to understand what you're trying to say. So to avoid confusion, it's really important that you use the correct version of the word, because spell check cannot tell you that it is the wrong version. So here's an example. With animals running loose and darkness closing in, authorities arrive with no good choices to protect the public. So loose has a homophone, L-O-S-E, loose and loose. They mean two very different things. So you see, if we used the word lose, which means fail to win, the reader would have been completely confused about what they're trying to say. So it's really important that you use those correct versions. You have in your Word journal a homophones section, and you can fill in these blank words. So homophones are words that sound the same but have different meanings and spellings. The spellings of homophones are important because they provide clues to the word's meaning.
I believe that journal is called the Greek and Latin
It's a
The
word study journal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so be sure you look for that.
It's in your Google Drive, or you can go back to the first week of the quarter and find it under Greek Roots activity. And in that journal, you'll have an entire 3-page list of words that are multiple, that are these homophones, and you can look at those. We're not going to make you enter anything into those charts
Just look at it.
because it's really important that they're spelled correctly.
Yes.
But I do think it's a very helpful tool for you. So here are some that are spelled often confused. Advice and advise. So advice is a noun, advise is a verb. Lie and lay.
Oh, that one gets me every time.
Yes. Past and past. Then and then. That's one of my pet peeves.
Yes.
Two, and two. You should be pretty good at this one by now. There, and there.
People still struggle with that as
Yes.
adults sometimes.
So knowing which one to use is critical for clear communication, and so that you look like you have an education. When I see people posting on social media and they don't use these words correctly, I think, were they just not paying attention, or do they just not know? And people can be really judgmental about that. So make sure that you use the correct versions of the word. And if in doubt, Google it.
Yes.
We have tools these days. So choose the correct homophone in the sentence. I watched my dog's paws when he walked through the mud. So I know that P-A-W-S is a noun. So I must have washed his P-A-W-S paws. You should ring the doorbell now.
Oh.
What do you think, Miss Shuttlesworth?
You should ring R-I-N-G the doorbell now.
because W-R-I-N-G
That's
means
ringing
to
out
ring
in
a
cloth.
cloth. The mail truck should arrive soon with my package.
Oh.
Well, I would hope that you would know that one.
Yes.
Yes.
Mail, M-A-I-L.
Yes.
I like getting packaged.
The
Me
other
too.
mail was talking about a boy.
A boy.
Right. Add another piece of wood to the fire. So we know that W-O-O-D is
Wood.
a wood, a
He said-
noun.
Yeah, yeah.
I broke my toe last year.
Oh, T-O-E. T-O-W is talking about the kind of toe like a tow truck.
Mhm.
Would you like a glass of sweet tea?
Well, T-E-E I know is a shirt, like a
Mhm.
t-shirt. And
Or a
T-E,
golf tee.
or a golf tee, yes. And T-E-A is tea, like the drink.
An octopus has 8 legs,
Oh my
so
goodness,
we should all
I
know
hope
a
you know
sight
that
word
one.
E-I-G-H-T. All right, and when you're going through this, you can look at these on your own and pick the correct words.
Now, we are going to continue reading Where the Red Fern Grows this week. We've gotten pretty far in it, and I know that our kids here at school are really enjoying it, and we hope that you are too. But it's super important that you listen to those chapters every day, because if you miss a day, it can pile up really quick, and it can feel overwhelming, and you just don't know if you can get through it. So listen every day.
And we're
okay?
having those quizzes. We've already
Yes.
had 2. And we know if you're not passing those, it's probably because you're not listening to that book.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you're listening, you should be able to pass those quizzes. They're not meant to be super hard.
Yes, and so you can look right here. This is our schedule for the week. We should finish the book on Thursday and take our AR test on it on Friday.
And that AR test is going to count as a test grade.
Yes.
So it's
yeah.
not just optional, oh, I don't want to take that. Well, that's going to count as a test grade in our grade book. So you have to take that, and we're trying to help you stay on track with your reading. Then we're going to have a project.
I'm so excited about this project.
I'm so excited about this project too.
And so for our project, you are going to have a choice board. So you get to choose which option. And there's going to be a rubric that accompanies it so you know what you need for each project so you don't have any questions about it. You can do a Google slideshow. You can make a poster or make a folder or get on Pixton and create a comic. Now, this is due Friday, November 13th, and it's really important that you look at the rubric and you read that rubric and all that information. Because that rubric and all that information are going to help you decide which project fits best for you and which one you really want to do. And we waited to do this until after we finished the book so that you could have all the information of the book to really pick what you wanted to focus on for your project.
So you're getting a chance to hear about it a little bit before our students in class will hear about
Yeah.
it. They won't hear about the project until Friday.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're hearing about it a little bit early so that you know that it's coming. You can't really get a good start on it yet because we're in the middle of the book. But you can at least be thinking through which project I'm going to pick and start paying really good attention to what you're going to need to pick out from that story.
And notice that you have 2 digital options and 2 paper-based options. You can choose any of those options. If you choose a paper-based option, you'll just send photos of your project to us. But if you don't want to do a paper-based option, choose one of the digital ones. All right, so writing this week, I'm sure you could have already guessed, we'll be writing an argument.
Woo! I like to write arguments.
You're going to choose a cause or opinion that you feel strongly about. Guys, make sure it's school appropriate.
So would our example of favorite color work?
Can you
Probably
support
not.
that with
Because
facts?
if I try to support it with facts, is it going to work? It's probably going to end up being a lot of opinions. So you're going to have to pick something a little bit deeper, but school appropriate.
Maybe
Now,
like
You could choose what is the most soothing color because
Now that's
there is
different.
research about
There's
that.
research about that. But an opinion, like my favorite thing, you're not gonna find any
No.
research for it. It has to be something you can actually research.
Yep, and I would, before you really pick a topic and are committed to it, do a little bit of research about that topic to make sure you're going to be able to find facts that can back it up.
Yes.
So you'll clearly state your opinion. You'll give 3 to 5 reasons supported by facts that you hold that opinion, and make sure that you write 5 or more paragraphs. And with that, we're done for the week. If you have any questions, remember you can always contact us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.